Hi, I hope I'm live today. The network is acting up, fam. I'm so sorry. I hope I'm clear. I hope you can hear me. But on this side, I can promise you it's showing me like the network is not cooperating today. But let me know, as always, if you can hear me. So, hi, Carlos. Hi, Susan. Thank you for being an early bird. I appreciate it. Hi, Salmane. Did I say it right? Hi, Sal. I'll call you Sal. Hi, Hayward from Carolina. Oh, hey. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Was it means like to dance. So for our people that don't know Amharic, literally like this name is saying this is Amharic, by the way, what you're looking at. The name. So it says was. He said, "We love you, Wengil. Thank you very much. I love you too." Um, yes, Carlos, it has started. There has been like network issues. I'm not even sure now if you can hear me. Yes. People are saying we can hear you. So yeah, it has been. I had troubles coming here, but I am here now. Right, that's what matters. Hi, Kagoma. Hi, Susan. Thank you, Susan. Hi, Maria. Thank you for coming through. Thank you, Kisha, for letting us know. We appreciate you coming here. Ambush. What does that mean, Maji? Hi, how are you? 5 out of 5 we can hear. Thank you so much. I had to ask, I know it's boring hearing me. Can you hear me? Can you see me every second? But like I need to make sure, I'm not alone here. Thank you, Lucas, for letting me know. Hi. Your name, your profile name is a bit tricky, so I'll just call you Angry and leave it there because I'll try to say what your last name here is and then I'll get in trouble. Hi, CD. Salam. Salam to you as well. The Libra fraudster. Mangel, what did you study at uni? I studied business and administration and information systems. So for short, we call it BAIS. It's a hybrid of business and then IT. I know it's so weird for what I do right now, but in uni, that's what I did. And for after that was my degree. For masters, I did marketing. Hi, Mandingo. Hi, Cassie, Queen. I wish I was. Hi, life is a business. Hi, Kay. Thank you for coming. Hey, bitter truth. Hi, Theodore. Hi, Lady J from the UK. How's the UK? How are you guys? My week, my week was good, honestly speaking. Just today I've had an off day. I don't know why, but my week has been good. How was yours? Gloria, hi, welcome, Gloria. Gloria said, "How are you doing?" I'll be hanging out in the chat. Thank you, Gloria. Feel free. Feel free. Thank you, TBZ. TBZ said, "Wengale, we love you." I appreciate it. From Austin, how is it down there, Mr. Pirate Brain? You guys have some interesting names for your profile. I don't think that's your real name, though. I'm pretty sure that's just like your YouTube name. So, what's the topic for today? Thank you, Kay. So that we'll transition because of you. Hi, I see someone I know. Hi, thank you for coming. This is my dad, by the way. Okay, so the topic for today is, let's transition. That was good, Kay. Thank you for reminding us that we're here to talk about something. I just wanted to welcome all of you. I see 60 people have joined. Thank you for coming, you guys. And then I want to ask something, okay? Let me know in the comment section before we get into the topic. I want to ask you something. First, like this video you don't mind. But secondly, I want you guys to tell me, like, so you would you like us to know? Okay, I know what I want to talk about, but would you like to know what we are going to talk about? Like on the thumbnail, would you want me to make it like to put it there, like the topic and everything I want us to talk about for that live, so you know in advance? Let me know. Like if you want, just let me know and say yes. All you I want to see in the comment is yes or no. If you're saying no, you're saying nope. Let me be surprised. Let me come and find out about what we're going to talk about. But if you say yes, if you type yes, that means in the thumbnail, at least I would say 24 to 48 hours in advance, I'll put it up there so you know what we're going to talk about. I already see a yes, but yeah, feel free to comment. Suzanne said yes. Okay, good. Majay said no. Okay, you like you like surprises. You're like me, I guess. Kagoma said no. Wow, really, Kagoma. But I get it. I feel like I'm the same way. Blackwire said no. Oh my god. I think the nose. Okay, let me see. No, yes. Okay, I don't know if it's like if we're equal or Gloria said no. Alex said yes. Majay said no. Good evening, Empress Wengil. Greetings from Mama. Good evening to you too. Kavya. Na said no. I'm so surprised. I would just like I don't know why I thought you guys would want, but I'm seeing lots of no's, but also yes. Kimberly Hayward, Nivlek said no. Kevin said no. Yasin said hi, Sister Engel from Sweden. Hi, Yasin. So Yasin also said yes. So I'll have to go back later, maybe check, or maybe I do a poll. Or anyways, I might go ahead and count because majority rule, right? So we'll see what we are going to do. Good afternoon from South Africa. Good afternoon. Kagoma said, as long as it's you speaking. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. So, oh, Henok said, I'm late. What's the question? The question was, when we do this lives every week, would you like me to put it in the thumbnail what we're going to talk about in advance so you know what we're going to talk about? Or you want to be surprised like we've been doing it for this, like this is the third episode. So if the answer is yes, you're saying yes to thumbnail having the topic. If you're writing no, you're saying I just want to be surprised and I'll just come and see what we're talking about. So yeah, that's what we're saying, Henok. So you can either type yes or no, depending on what you want. Theodore said no, let's just get into it, more fun. Okay, now I see more yeses now. Okay, let me start. I think it's been going well when I'm showing you guys my screen. So I'm gonna do the same thing, and then you let me know if you can still hear me, so that it's I just don't talk to myself. So I'm gonna present what I want to talk about. This is like I couldn't believe the story was real at first. By the way, like so many, like you would think at some point um you will start like nothing will shock you or surprise you, but yeah, this world keeps surprising me and shocking me. So this is what I want us to talk about, but I want to know you guys can still hear me and you can see what I'm showing you guys. Can you see the article I've opened from Huffington? I think it's Huffington Post. Yes, I'm hoping the yes is for that. Okay, so this is what I want us to talk about. um so as I said, I was so shocked to find out like this is real. The title of the article was, did victims in 737 max crash suffer before they died? Boeing lawyers say no. Okay, so I am not seeing your guys comment. Please type if you can see. Yes, we can. Oh, thank you, David. Okay, thank you. You're a lifesaver, because I was gonna waste another time. Okay, so um let me go through this with you. Okay, first maybe I might need to do give you a reminder. There was a crash. I don't know how many of you remember, but for Ethiopians, we remember it very clearly and vividly because it's an Ethiopian airline that crashed, like the plane. It was flight 302, right? So it was a Boeing plane. And so when it first happened, Boeing was saying, no, 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 like that's not our fault. It's the pilot's fault. They tried their best to not take any sort of accountability, and they refused to accept it. But then, thankfully, um, the black box, I think it's called black box, right? The airplane, the thingy that is in the airplane that tells you what happened and the software and everything. So that thing was found, and it was discovered finally, thankfully, that it was Boeing's software malfunction that caused that crash, and 157 people lost their lives because of Boeing's fault. You know what makes it worse? The thing that makes it worse is there was a flight before this Ethiopian flight that had the same malfunction. Even though Boeing knew about it, they didn't do anything about it. They were trying to hide it because, like, a lot of countries buy Boeing, a lot of people use Boeing, and they didn't want to lose money. It's all about money at this in this day and age, right? So they refused to accept it. So when that one happened and that crash happened and all those people lost their lives, Boeing kept it a secret. Like they didn't accept it. At the very least, they didn't accept publicly. They were blaming the pilots and poor pilots. So now it was discovered that it was their fault. It was not the Ethiopian pilot's fault, none of that. It was purely Boeing's fault because, like, even the pilot was calling for, like, for what are they called? The traffic people that let them know you can go now. You could, like, when there's a problem, they, communicate with the main office. And the pilot was saying, like, I can't handle, like, I'm not able to um like control this plane. So what it did was, like, the fault, the software, what the issue was, like, when it thinks that there's a problem, it locks you out. Even if you're the pilot and you're trying to fix the problem and fly properly, it just blocks you. So that means it's the actual system that is taking you down, even as a pilot, when you're trying to fix the problem and, like, I don't know what it's called, but, like, fly up, it just takes you to the ground. And that's how they lost their lives. All these people lost their lives because of that. And now the story is, fam, get ready. Boeing is saying, let me read for you. You know what? I can read for you. Attorneys for Boeing argued in court last month that the families of victims who died in an early 737 MAX crash aren't entitled to pain and suffering damage because, wait for it, there isn't sufficient evidence of pre impact pain. So they are arguing that they didn't feel pain when they lost their lives, so we're not paying. Like, that's that is what their lawyers are arguing. And they continued. That's not where they stopped. They said, the lawyer said, I think this is also the lawyers, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, he said, okay, and this is the expert that was called as a witness for Boeing. He said, quote, while passengers undoubtedly perceived the flight as scary, humans have a tendency to hold on to hope and not expect the worst, Jonathan French said. So, and then he continued, he said, ultimately, it is impossible to know the subjective experience of each occupant. So, what they're saying is, there's no way to prove that these people felt pain when they died. So we're not going to pay for that. Why are we paying? Because they didn't feel pain and suffering. Like, what? Like, what? And this is a real source. Like, this is Huffington Post, right? Like, this is not a made up article that we're talking about. Like, the degree these companies will go to. First, they were lying on that poor pilot, saying it was his fault when clearly it was not. And then it was debunked. I think if you're Ethiopian, maybe you remember this. They were trying to take the black box and do their own research, to do their own what do you call it, study on it and see what really happened. The Ethiopian airline, then the main guy said, no, 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 we're going to send our people as well. Like, we want to be there when it's being open and seen. And that was the right decision, because who knows, they might have lied, they might have changed the narrative. So I'm so happy that, you know, Ethiopian airline at that time, and you know, the government said, we need to get to the bottom of this, and we're not going to run with your story that this is the fault of Ethiopian Airlines. At some point they were even targeting and trying to paint this narrative that Ethiopian Airlines is something that couldn't be trusted, when clearly they know it was not the Ethiopian Airlines fault. And people came together. Actually, I was so impressed by so many people, like prominent people came together to say, no, 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 we fly Ethiopian Airlines. They have been so good. Like, they're one of the best airlines in the world, not just in Africa. So we're not buying this nonsense. So, you know, the truth shall come out. And this time around, thankfully, came out the right time at the right moment. And they were not able to lie their way out of it. But now, like, they're trying to escape accountability, and they don't want to pay, because why? When the crash happened, they must have just been gone. Like, there was no pain and suffering. It's just that emoji. That's how I feel right now. So let me see. I'm sure I missed a lot of comments, but let's see what I can find. Yeah, but they did say it. So I don't know. They did say it. So we'll see what the verdict will be. David said, I would have also died that day in the ET crash. What? Because I was in Addis and I was traveling to Nairobi, but I arrived. Guys, listen to this. David said, I would have also died that day in that ET crash because I was in Addis and I was traveling to Nairobi, but I arrived to the airport late, and I was late because I was too tired and overslept. Oh my God, David. Like, I have goosebumps. Oh, wow. Well, we're glad that you're here, and you know, that was not your time, David. You have a lot to do. This is, yeah, go do it. Wow, like, that really made me feel some type of way, but we're happy that you were late that day. Thank God for that. um Adyam said, the things people say to get away with something. Yes, yes, that is exactly what they are. Yeah, they might. Yes, Minji. They are trying. They are trying. Noel said, hello. When are the young people of Africa going to start protesting? The Africans closed borders. We need to start on this matter soon. Open up the Africa borders now. Yeah, there are people that are working on this. Well, trying, they're talking about it, they're talking to governments, but I know it's not going to be an easy road. I know it's just going to be hard, but the main point is that we try and we don't give up, and nothing is impossible. So I feel you, Noel. CD said Boeing would be at fault. They are at fault. Like, it's a done deal, by the way. They are at fault. It's a system malfunction. Now they said they have fixed it. So, and it's not all Boeings that exact, like that specific, what is it called? 737. That's specific. What is it called? Like, specific plane type, not all of Boeing stuff. You know, so it is their fault, but they're trying to get away from like paying the family members of those that lost their lives. Kisha said the impact of a plane crash would cause physical damage, hence physical pain being inflicted. This is insane. Yeah, what they're claiming is like it was quick. You know, that's like, as long as they didn't suffer for a long time, we should not be liable, basically. David said, I remember that very well because back at the Bole airport, we were in a total shock. Yeah, oh, I can only imagine, honestly. Like, and the people that lost their lives, so many nationalities. There was even, I remember, a family, like family with kids, and can be easy, honestly. Tough, tough. May they rest in peace. The mirror likes me. That's a nice name. Love it. Said, what are your thoughts on double trouble Blinken Harris coming to the continent to lecture Africans? Well, when they first announced it, that's when I was like, ugh, now now what? Because they are high ranking officials. This is not just a minister traveling. Like, these are big deals, right? Secretary of State and the vice president. It's a big deal. And you know it's there's something behind it, like you suspect, obviously. And there was, like, I remember Blinken came, he said he's giving so much money to Ethiopia, and then in the same breath he accused Ethiopia and the Ethiopian soldiers of like atrocities. And then Harris, now she visited Ghana, and I think just like 3 4 hours ago she arrived in Tanzania. She's supposed to visit 3 countries. So the first country she visited, Ghana, she promised how many? More than $100 million. And she told them it's for security. Like, we care about that and the terrorist attacks that have been going on, and we want support and blah, 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 blah. And as I said, in the same breath, she also mentioned, the rights of LGBT. And yeah, we all know there's a reason, and not just that. They are trying to counter the relationship, like the influence that the Chinese and Russia has. And I don't know honestly if they're going to be successful, because, okay, I could be wrong, because internet is not the whole of Africa, and as we all know, there's a lot of our brothers and sisters that still need to know what really is going on. So the very few, at least the ones on the internet, the people that I see, they're people are waking up. They know exactly what's up. Like, they're like, mm-mm. At the very least, even if like they're not um hating on this nation or that nation, they're like, okay, whatever is best for us is what we will take. You guys are fighting for us, fighting for our attention, fighting for our resources. We'll pick the one that is best for us. And that's the attitude that we like to see, because at the end of the day, that gives African countries more option. Like, we don't have to beg, like, let's say, Ukraine, give me food, when Russia is literally saying, okay, if Ukraine's not giving you, I'm giving you. It's like a popularity contest contest for Africans. And it's quite interesting watching, and a little bit satisfying. But yeah, clearly there's an agenda behind it, and it's not even a secret. So that's how I feel about it. Um, HB said, what crash is she talking about? The Boeing 737 Max, the ET, I believe it's Flight 302, that happened 2 years ago. And Boeing was found that they were at fault. It was their system that malfunctioned, and now they're in court to see how much they'll pay. But they are claiming that since the deceased people didn't feel pain and suffering, because the crash was quick, we don't want to pay the family members for pain and suffering. So we're saying, what are you talking about? Is this even real life? So yeah, that's what we're talking about, HB. um Honestly, I don't know, Brian. I see this comment in it, like, I see people commenting this in my comment section, but I don't know about that, honestly. Like, I don't know. That's the honest truth. Kevin Jones said, God bless David. Yes, David, the one that survived, right? Yeah. Yep. God said, not today, Kevin. Not today, David. Sorry. T'Challa said, Rodemaya also was supposed to be on that flight but changed flight the day before. I did not know this. I did not. So many people were supposed to be on that flight. Goodness. Theodore said, food security cannot happen with closed borders. Apologies for off topic, but Neil comment is an urgent issue. Where is that? Which comment was that? You see, I read a lot of comments. I forgot which one you're referring to, Theodore. Oh, Majay is saying, yes, Odemaya was supposed to be in that plane too. Well, he has a lot to live for, so It's just sad. Honestly, it is just so sad. Like all those, like the kids, especially if you see their pictures, if you go and Google it today, because I was going to talk about this, I was like, going through the pictures and stuff. Honestly, I think, remember earlier when this live stream started, I was telling you, like, today it's been an off day. Like, after seeing that, it was a reminder. Like, you see the people crying, finding out, the family members, the kids that lost their lives. Like, they had so much to live for, they had so much potential. They were just going back home, they were just like going for business, they planned, they had their whole lives in front of them, and then they lost it, and now here is Boeing telling them they didn't face suffering and pain. So I'm not pay. It's the audacity for me. Maria said only a white lawyer will think that way. People have suffer pain while they're in the impact. They just don't want to pay the Ethiopian government or the families. Oh my God, black people. Yeah, they don't want to pay. Like, point blank. That's it. Like, there's no other excuse, reason, none whatsoever. Brian, I don't. You commented this earlier. I don't. Okay, maybe explain to us why. When was this research done, and like who? Like, tell me more. You know what I mean? Like, how do we know that? Black Fist said, I hear they have an all white only town in South Africa. How is this possible? I never heard of all black town in Europe. Yep, it is possible. Surprising. To my surprise, I actually did a story on it. I don't know if you watched a Black Fist. Go and watch it if you haven't. I did a report on it, and it's incredible. Like, they were even threatening, they were saying we are prepared if anybody wants to come here, like we yeah. So that, my friend, you have to ask the South African government, and the person that is running it right now is Ramaphosa. And like, seriously, like, what's up? How why are we allowing this to happen? How is this even like a thing? It's so insane, right, when you hear it, but it's true. And it's just, yeah, the government needs to do better, honestly, because you can't tell me that you are the leader of that nation and you allow this to happen under you. Mm-mm. That's not fair. Suzanne said, God bless you, David. Yeah. So, David is responding to people. Fox Legend said, Good morning, Wangil. This too, Harris and Blinken should never be trusted. Sorry, this is a move to force their LGBT agenda, and trying to underhand Africa's progress. Use them, but do not trust them. I completely get you, and I think I think today or tomorrow there's like there's a story I'm posting, and it's about the speaker of Ghana calling Camilla's speech undemocratic because she said some stuff about this, and he's like, "What? You are here on our land in our country where it's illegal, and how are you saying this? Like, who are you to tell us this?" And yeah, it's created quite the controversy. And Theodori said, No more begging, please. Yes, it's the begging that needs to stop. Like, as I said, Blinken went to Ethiopia, said, Here you go, here's your carrot. He said he will give us money. And then what happened? He's accused us this and that, huge crimes. Same thing. Kamala said, I'm giving you this much. And then she said, Okay, so well, what are your thoughts about these things that we've talked about? How are we going to enforce them? Because us as the US, that's our identity, and we want you to be the same. So I think, honestly, it's not going to be easy. Obviously, saying no to money. I was going to say free money, but we all know it's not free money. So it's going to be hard because for so long we've depended on it. So it's going to take a little suffering after cutting any kind of loan and money that they're offering or aid. But I believe it's for the greater good. And it's definitely something we should do. Yeah. Theodore said maybe a specific time for open dialogue or comments. Theodore, are you talking to me? If you are, I don't know. I'm assuming you're suggesting there should be like a time during this live. If I'm wrong, correct me. For like open dialogue or comments. If that's the case, feel free. Of course, I wouldn't want it to be any other way. Yeah, Majay said, hell no, we don't need Russia. Um, Russia's food, we need our own factories. Yes, completely agree. Like, I don't think we should be dependent on anyone. Someone else said something interesting earlier. I forgot who. You said use them, but don't trust them. Okay, maybe I won't say that. What I'll say is like, get what you can out of it, but keep your eyes open and still be independent. Like, just because you have a relationship with a nation doesn't mean that you have to be dependent. You can be independent and still use the things that are being offered to you to your advantage. So, yeah, I think Russia has been, especially in recent years, really good to African countries, but it doesn't mean that African countries should depend on Russia for anything. We should not. We should only depend on ourselves, because what, history will repeat itself. Why would we do that? US always have an agenda. They never have anything good for Africa, whether here in the US or overseas, particularly in Africa. Never be trusted. At the end of, as I said, keep your eyes open. Don't think there's any free money. There's no such thing. Yeah, just know that. Anne said, "Hi, girl. Good job. Thank you." Brian said, "You have Patreon or ways to contribute?" I actually don't, Brian. I always say I'll create one, and I don't, which is my fault. So honestly, I'll make it a priority in the new month. April is almost here, right? Like, I'll focus on that in April and try to think of ways where I can also have exclusive content for people that are obviously contributing. You can't just contribute and not get anything. I feel like you have to get something. So yeah, I'll work on that, Brian. But thank you so much for asking. Theodore, previous comment about food security. The Libra fraudster said, how did start talking about African issues and topics? What inspired you? Oh, it is to, I think, me, right, Libra? So you're asking, how did I start talking about African issues and topics? So I started when I first started my channel. Even then, that was on my mind. Like, that's the reason why I opened my channel, to talk about that. And I remember the first video was introduction, when I had like what, 3 4 subscribers, just my family and me. It was introduction of welcome to my channel. And then the second one was about, I believe, African Union, comparing African Union and European Union, and how I was saying, like, African Union, what are we doing? Like, look at EU, what they're doing and stuff. So even in the first place, when I started my channel, was like, the idea was for that specifically. And what inspired me was because I wanted a better situation for the next generation, for our children, for our grandchildren. Like, I don't want them to be in the same position as we are. Like, after you finish school, the unemployment is just depressing, and you have to figure out ways to support your family, and you see corruption and you see the poverty, and then you're like, okay, what's my option? Leaving the country, leaving the continent, and fleeing. And then you see the people that are losing their lives in the sea. The ones that make it outside, you see them being discriminated against, you see them losing their lives because of the color of their skin. So after, I saw what was really happening, I was like, I need to talk about this. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I felt the urge to talk about it, and I didn't know where to do it. But thankfully, there was something called YouTube, and then yeah, that's how I started it. And yeah, I hope I answered your question, Libra. Mr. Pirate Brain said, if you see the plane going down, you are suffering. Tell me about it. Like, tell me. Yes, just imagine the panic. I don't want to imagine, but sometimes like you just you can't help it but imagine. I can't. Even when there's turbulence, how do you feel, right? Like you're like it's just like is this it? Just a few turbulence. I can only imagine that will feel like what 20 years I feel like. But yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's they just don't want to pay. That's it. Hayward said they never say that when an American airline crashes. Um, I'm assuming, or maybe they handle it like behind the scenes because I believe Boeing is an American company. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. So um, they would handle it behind the scenes because Boeing brings a lot of money to the government, and even the government wouldn't want to expose. It's because the Ethiopian government and the airline just put their foot down and said, "There's no way we're gonna take this blame." So probably, yeah. Um, Common com, Common Man said the system worked properly. It was the programming of the system that caused it to crash. That's why more than one of those same type planes would crash. Wait, let me read that again. System worked properly. It was the programming of the system that caused it crash. That's why more than one of the same type of planes. Yeah, I don't know. If they did that on purpose because that's a huge claim, but we all know that was their, like at the end of the day it was their fault. That's what we know for sure because it was the system's fault and the system belongs to that company and that company is the one that should take responsibility and accountability, that we know. um Lucas said the family should be compensated. I hope the Ethiopian Airlines fight it through. They even tried tainting dead men. No shame at yeah. It was so sad. And you should see the young man. He was Kenyan and Ethiopian. The what do you call them? The captain, the pilot. He was half Ethiopian, half Kenyan, and he was a young man. I think he was like 20, late 20s or even mid 20s. Like he was young man, and they were trying to do that to him, even though it was not his fault at all. He did his absolute, the black book showed he did his absolute best to help those people, but the system just locked them out and took them down. Yeah, sad, sad, sad story. Yeah, I really, why is, okay, hope you guys can hear me because it felt like it was lagging a little bit. Hope you can hear me. It's actually a farm. I don't know, Austin, who are you answering to? Wait, you didn't know Caucasians are part of Neanderthal? I don't know. I keep getting this comment. So if I don't know like about a topic, I don't like, agreeing to it, addressing it because I don't want to say anything. I have to go ahead and I see this, but I don't. For all I know, no, I want to do my research before I participate in this conversation. Orania, a lot of misinformation. Okay, I think I'm missing some comments here. Hi, Jeb, welcome. Oh, Harvard says white people have Neanderthal DNA. The only true humans are African. You guys, I don't. Oh my goodness. So me, I am not gonna participate. Okay, I'll see it's Harvard that says that. Write me the article so that I can go ahead and read that study. Okay, Brian, you want to get me in trouble, I think. Keisha, I saw multiple reports about all white towns in South Africa. Yes, and I did one, Keisha. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. It's so shocking. I like honestly so shocking. You wouldn't believe like, and it's the audacity for me, the way they feel comfortable like saying those things in front of a camera, and they have their own mayor, and the mayor was saying, I don't even want to repeat it. Like, genuinely, you go and watch it. He was saying some degrading stuff about black people. Um, so let me see. Oh, somebody, this is Amharic. I told you guys. For those of you, there was someone last time telling me I should learn, I should teach you guys Amharic. So this person right here just wrote Amharic. What you're reading, like the first three sentences, words are Amharic. So he said the first one is my name, okay? Just like a lesson, a study. Study Amharic with Wengel. So he said, or she said, I don't know if you're here or she, okay, I don't want to. So was said Wengeliye Yonet Korabishallo, which means I'm proud of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're too kind. And in English you can read it. They wrote, I'm proud of you, my dear. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, I see a super chat. Mimi Roberts. Keep going, Wengale. Bring all the smoke with love from Oakland. Thank you so much. Thank you for the $10. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting and coming through and watching and being part of the conversation. So I don't want to miss. I feel like I saw another one, so I don't want to miss. Okay, here it is. Falcon said, hi, would you be open for an interview with me? Well, it depends, Falcon. First of all, thank you for the five, I think it's euros, right? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Secondly, what is the interview about? What's your platform? What do you talk about? Send me the what do you call it? The channel, or is it up? Like I need to know more before I say yes. Although I'm so appreciative of the €5, you didn't have to send it, but yeah, let me know what you do and what you focus on and why you would like me to join. Okay, Falcon? So Man Scott said, I hope Africa doesn't trust these other nations. They have been the same for centuries. There are no coincidences. Like honestly, yes, we need to put our own. We need to put our people first. Like it's not even on a negative way. Like other people, you see them prioritizing their own people. You see them always coming together with their communities and just putting each other on, right? So I think there's nothing wrong with prioritizing ourselves and our people and what benefits us. For so long, that's not what has happened. And I think it's about time that we start that. Falcon, I think, are you Nigerian? That's a Nigerian flag, right? Um, Is it? I feel oh, Falcon. So you are where are you based? As I said, write more details for us so we can know what we're getting ourselves into. Kevin, what language are taught? I don't know how to say taught. What languages are taught in Ethiopian schools? What are your thoughts on Swahili and linguistic unity on the continent? That's a good question. In Ethiopia, where like the national language is Amharic, but like if you go to different areas and different regions, it might vary. Like depending on which region you are in. But like as you know, we have over 80 tribes, so there are so many language, so many of them. And I remember growing up, we would learn in two language, which is Amharic and English. So if we're like, there are two classes, for example, for just math. There's math in Amharic and then math in English. Or if it's science, it's science in English, science in Amharic. We used to learn it both. I don't know why, but that's how we used to learn. And yeah, about Swahili, I genuinely believe we should all adapt Swahili. Not because Swahili is superior or I'm putting Swahili above other languages. Not like that. But Swahili, like it's more from like a systematic um point of view. Like if we want this one language, one country kind of, if we want that to happen, then what we need to focus on is like to look at what's going on right now. And if we look at it, Swahili, a lot of people already use it, like in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Congo, DR Congo, some parts of Rwanda. Now South Africa has introduced it in their schools. So, like when you look at it, since a lot of people are already like conversating and using it, and Swahili is, they tell me at least, it's simpler, or like it's easier to learn it better than other languages. So I agree. I think it, maybe all of us can include it, like all African countries can include it in their curriculum, and kids can grow up learning it. So now we don't have to depend in English or French or Spanish to communicate to one another. Thankfully, like the little English I've learned in school, now I can come here and talk to you about it, like talk to you about the things that I care about. Like imagine if we had the same language and we use the same currency, like it will be unstoppable. I believe Swahili is the best uh, like option that we have right now. Alexander said, hi sister. Hi Alexander. Habarigani, I love your content, keep up the great work, peace and love. Asanti, Bobby, we appreciate you, thank you for coming through. Mimi said, yes, correct, more than one of those spec. Maybe you're responding to someone, or I said something earlier and I forgot. Kevin said the ghost of Theodore Roosevelt is roaming with the big stick policy. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. um, okay, you're responding to someone else. Another super. Okay, this is a super sticker. I don't know the difference, but all I know is it is valuable. So thank you, Black Raven, for coming through. Thank you for the super sticker. I really, really appreciate it. Um, Thank you for the support. Thank you. And I hope you're enjoying our conversation. Let me see. Wow. Like, I don't know, like, why time flies when I'm live, honestly, because I really enjoy it, I guess. Hi, Wengil. It's Black Raven. Hi, Black Raven. Thank you for coming. Kisha said we can hear you. Ooh, this chat is from earlier because I asked if you can hear me earlier. Wait, let me see the timestamp. Oh, I missed. Wow, that's a lot of comments, fam. Oh, Mimi. Yes, Mimi. Okay, now I get it. More than one of those types of planes crashed or had issues. Exactly. And that is the reason why Boeing needs to pay up, because they knew when that happened, like I believe it was an Asian airline, right? I forgot exactly what airline it was. When that happened, they covered it up. They blamed the pilot. If they did their due diligence and they fixed it, then this Ethiopian airline flight wouldn't have crashed. So they need to take accountability. Yeah. Pele said, hi, Wangel, is Amharic your mother tongue? Yes, it is. I grew up in the capital city. So, in the capital city, it's usually Amharic. So that's why I only know this language. But my parents are bilingual and they know other languages from Ethiopia. Unfortunately, they didn't teach me. Shame on them. I'm sure my dad is here now. So, shame on you, dad. um, Shambo said Swahili can also be understood by the Kosa. Yes, I'm like, that's why I'm an advocate of Swahili, because it makes sense, and let's do it as quickly as we can. Let's not fight on, no, 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 I want Amharic to be the African language. No, 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 I want this language. Let's just sit down and see what we're trying to do. If the goal is to unite all of us and to have one language that we can all talk to each other with and trade with and communicate with and understand each other with, then let's go with what makes sense right now. That's what I think. Yeah. uh yeah, I need to go, fam. I know time really just, I lose track of time. Like I looked at the time and it's 7:31 for me at least. Yeah, so fam, thank you so much as always for coming here and really interacting with me. Like I don't feel like I'm talking to myself because you guys are in the chat having a conversation and uh, giving us your thoughts and concerns. And that is really something that I really appreciate, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. And I want this. I want more of this for us to just get to know each other more, because I feel like this is it feels more real than just talking to a camera, because like there's a text coming here and it's live. I love it. Anyways, thank you. Just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I see um comments coming through, but it's a lot, so I wouldn't want to read some and leave some. So but I just want to say thank you so much. I'll see you. So you guys are going to come next, so I'll go through the yes and no's that you commented earlier. If it's like similar, like let's say it's like almost 50-50 or 55-40, something like that, I'll do a poll in my community, and then you vote based on that, and then going forward we'll do that. Okay, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you. Have a blessed day, night, morning, wherever you are. I appreciate you. Have a blessed